shoujos. Lately, it has felt like no one on Earth knows any new shoujo manga made after 2010. Maybe that's just my fault because I'm still on Twitter and only the most soul-inducingly worst takes are on there. But I only ever see Oran, Nana, and Fruits Basket talked about when referring to shoujo as if nothing else has ever been made. Not to mention, a lot of people say nothing good is coming out either. And that is why we are here today, to talk about some of the most interesting shoujo and josei manga coming out in Japan right now. It's been about a year since I've done one of these videos, and the previous time, one of the series that I talked about, Pink Candy Kiss, actually got licensed before I had put the video out, and hence I was deified as the second coming of Shoujo Jesus by myself. So I figured I should test my luck once again and make one of these videos. If any one of these shoujo or josei series ends up getting licensed, you're welcome. We're passing the offering baskets around right now. That does, however, mean that all of the manga I'm talking about today are only available in Japan. None of them have been licensed yet. So if you want to read any of these, if any of them sound interesting to you, make sure that you request them from publishers, and maybe we will someday. From Exorcists to Beastly Adventures to Little Old Ladies, all of the manga that we are talking about today are shoujo and josei series that you need to know about. Starting off with the newest manga in this bunch, Yell Girl by Yuchiya Tanaka. This is a shoujo manga series coming from the magazine Betsuma, which many people would recognize from works like Kimi ni Todoke and Aoharu Ride. It's a currently ongoing school club romance series, and the first volume only just came out last week. So this one is brand spanking new, but as soon as I saw it was about a sports club, I was locked in. The story is about a girl named Yu who is starting her first year of high school. While she doesn't think she wants to join any clubs, she ends up watching a demonstration from the cheer team and is blown away. After school, Yu goes to try out for the club, but is met by a grumpy boy in the same year as her, who says that she's just gonna quit anyway and should just go home. This lights a fire under Yu though, and she tries even harder. It isn't until she's able to cheer herself though that she realizes she may like it just as much as she thought. So the reason that this manga really stuck out to me right away is because it is from Betsuma, and Betsuma hasn't had a school club or sports series in a little while now. The magazine mostly just focuses on school life romance series these days, but they have had quite a few sports and club series in the past, and each one of them is so good. The first ones coming to mind for that are Crimson Hero and Aozora Yell. But still, it has been a while since we've gotten one of these from Betsuma. And when I saw that Yell Girl was about Oendan, I was sold immediately. First off, the art in this manga is gorgeous. I've seen Tanaka's previous work, and while her art was good, it is nowhere near the level it is in this manga. It brings in those classic shoujo manga elements of bubbles and sparkles whenever the main character Yu is feeling inspired, but at the same time, the scenes of the cheering are forceful and striking. You really get the sense that the characters are projecting their cheers just from the illustrations. It seems like an obvious thing that an artist should be able to do, but not every artist is good at making an impact. I also kind of like how the main struggle of this series seems to be the perception of how girls need to act. Yu is very happy-go-lucky, she's a real go-getter, and wants to try anything. However, because of the simple fact that she is a girl, she's perceived as flippant because of it. The male lead in the series immediately sees her and thinks she's gonna quit just because she's wearing makeup, and that the tryout will be way too hard for her. This perception makes Yu try even harder though. I think it's a really interesting take on a school club series, and especially for Oendan, which seems to be mostly male dominated both in real life and in this manga. Yell Girl looks like so much fun, and I really hope that we could get this one in English someday soon. It is only one volume, so I'm not expecting it within this year or anything like that, but it is still a good contender for a manga that Viz might pick up in the future, especially considering this one comes from Betsuma, and they love Betsuma manga. Also, really hoping that this manga does really well in Japan. I would love to see this one run for quite a long time. We haven't gotten a long-running school club or sports shoujo in a while now. The next series I want to highlight is another very new shoujo shoujo series, Luento Genjuu Trimmer by Marina Abe. This fantasy adventure manga only has one volume as well and runs in the manga magazine Asuka. It did start in 2024, but the reason this manga only has one volume is because Asuka only publishes 6 times in a year, meaning we do not get much of Luento Genjuu Trimmer. That won't stop me from wanting this manga to come to English-speaking audiences though. The manga is set in a land full of beastmen where a groomer named Luento lives. He travels from place to place, offering his services to any beastman who needs a good trim. One day, Luento gets struck from behind by a mythical beast named Polo, who got separated from his mother. Now with this new task, Luento and Polo must travel across the land to find this rare mythical beast. When I first saw this manga on AnimeNYC, it was really the cover art that intrigued me. All the creatures on the cover look so mythical and fantastical. It really evokes that feeling of like The Last Unicorn or Fantasia, and I especially loved Luento's design. He has both a familiar feline look to him, but also looks like a creature that you've never seen before. Plus, a big pair of scissors. Big Scissors Gang, rise up. Yes, this is how I trim my cat's nails. As for the story, it really is just a heartwarming journey of Luento taking care of Polo, while Polo, along the way, learns to grow up a little. Polo is very bratty at the start of this manga, and mostly starts the first few chapters crying for his mom and also being mad at Luento. And while Luento gives reluctant dad energy at times, he's still very gentle with this lost and confused beast. It's really episodic, where these two just go around meeting new beastmen and opening up their perspectives to the world. Since Luento Genjuu Trimmer is from Asuka, I do kind of have high hopes that Yen Press might pick this one up in the future. It's right up their alley with being a fantasy adventure series, and they also did just pick up another 1-volume Asuka series that's actually been on hiatus for a while now, so we have some good odds here. I would love to follow the adventure of Luento and Polo more, and I just think the world building is so lovely and lived in. If anyone could make my dreams come true with this series, it's going to be Yen Press. Alright, don't tell those last two, but yeah, they sounded good. Yeah, I want to read them. But this manga series I am deadly serious about. I don't care if this manga only has 1 volume and only started earlier this year. I need to read this manga as of yesterday. That manga being Kurahime to Koikarasu by Akira Osora, a supernatural action shoujo series that is running in the manga magazine Lala. This is another one many people might know because this is a magazine where series like Oran and Maid-sama came from. Our main protagonist Hibana is an ordinary high school girl, or so she would like you to think. She actually comes from a prestigious family of exorcists, and she's considered a prodigy among them. But no matter how much she wants to quit due to this job's negative impact on her social life, her grandpa won't let her. That is, unless she fills one condition. Hibana must destroy the exorcist's enemy, the Yatagarasu clan. Only then, after she destroys them, can she quit. So this manga actually first started as a 3-part one-shot that was running in Lala. And I've actually known of Osora since her previous work, Shadow Princess of Dragon King, a fantasy action title which I own 3 of the 5 volumes of. Since I was familiar with her from this series and I love her artwork, I was really excited to see that she was doing another interesting looking action title. Then I was even more excited when I saw her series was popular enough to get picked up for full serialization. Kurahime just looks like that perfect quintessential shoujo series that I grew up loving, mixing those supernatural Japanese folklore elements with fighting, school life, and a little bit of romance. The main protagonist, Hibana, is also my favorite kind of shoujo heroine who's a little weathered and jaded, but still has a big heart of gold. Not to mention, she's a badass even if she doesn't want to be. Now all you need to do is add in a hot and cold romance with a somewhat seedy male lead and you have me seated. If there is any manga on this list that I hope comes out in English sooner rather than later, it is this one. I want more action shoujo back, and especially fun ones like this. I also just really hope this manga runs past 5 volumes like all of Osora's past work. She's one of the newer shoujo mangaka that I've been wanting her to get a big hit since her debut, and if that big hit is going to be Kurahime to Koikarasu, then I will be perfectly pleased. Unfortunately, in the meantime, it might be a little while before we actually do get this one. So it may just be best for us to learn Japanese, because who knows how long it's gonna take for these smaller titles to get picked up by publishers. But don't worry though, that's why I partnered up with today's sponsor, Rosetta Stone. As a huge shoujo manga fan, I have always wanted to travel to Japan to find any hidden gems that are published. But if you are anything like me, you may have taken years of language learning classes back in high school or college and retained none of it. Luckily, with today's partner, Rosetta Stone, this may no longer be a pipe dream. Rosetta Stone is an immersive language learning platform that uses sounds, pictures, and speech tools to help you associate words with meanings, just like how a kid might learn their first language. You're not just memorizing boring words and phrases, you're actually hearing, seeing, and speaking. Like with the True Accent speech recognition tool. It listens to how you pronounce a word or phrase and gives you instant feedback on your pronunciation. 女の子はジュースを飲んでいます。Rosetta Stone has made learning Japanese fun for me. Also, unlike school, these lessons take up to 5 to 10 minutes of your day. Meaning, I can learn Japanese in between editing a video or reading some manga and not feel like I spent my whole day doing it. If you are like me and also looking to travel to Japan yourself someday, then Rosetta Stone is one of the best ways to start learning a language. You can use the exclusive link in my description to access all 25 of their offered languages. So you can pick up Japanese lessons and so many other languages too, with a 60% off code for an unlimited language lifetime subscription. Start feeling confident in your own ability to learn a new language today. Now, let's get back to those recommendations. For the next manga I would like to bring to your attention, we have Colorful Antinomy by Hikari Shibata. This is a 2-volume ongoing josei series that comes from the magazine Feel Young. Whether it's a romance series or not, I'm still not 100% sure, but if it is a romance series, then this one is most likely a yuri, which I will never say no to. And we also don't get much Feel Young manga in English in the first place, even though most of them are bangers. This manga is about a woman named Fumi who's in her 30s. She's trying to keep it all together on the surface, but underneath it all, she's just lonely. So when a coworker suggests a dating app, she musters up the courage to give it a shot. One of the people that she matches with seems to be just her type as well. But when Fumi shows up to meet the hottie in person, what she thought was a man turns out to be a woman. The reason I really want this manga is because, like I mentioned, it is most likely a yuri series. However, that's not all. It's a yuri series with one of the most handsome butch women I have ever seen. I saw her manspreading on the cover of the second chapter art, and I said, yes, please, I would like more. This manga really seems like the adult version of the Green Yuri, mostly due to their character designs, not really the setup or anything. But whether or not they start getting into American rock bands is yet to be seen. I also just really vibe with most series that come from Feel Young. Many of their titles explore sexism and consequentially the loneliness that can come with it for a woman in their 30s. I think Colorful Antinomy will probably fall into that same category, as Fumi just wants someone to make her feel loved and worthy. She's a real people pleaser, which wears her out constantly, and never getting to let your guard down around someone is exhausting. Meeting someone who can help her relax almost immediately when they start talking is just what she needs. Bonus points that it might also help her realize that she fell into compet. Colorful Antinomy would be a great pickup for any English publisher considering the popularity of Green Yuri right now. A lot of people also complain that there's not enough adult romance manga, so if you add this one in the mix, I think you would please a lot of people. If I were to guess who might grab this one, my bet would be 7Cs, since they just picked up Gene Bride, which also comes from Feel Young, which, side note, Gene Bride was on my licensed video like 2 years ago, The second to last series I want to highlight is a mystery drama josei that actually just got a drama adaptation on Netflix, Who Saw the Peacock Dance in the Jungle by Rito Asami. After watching a few episodes of the drama adaptation though, I am even more desperately wanting the manga. That show was low budget as hell. Please give me the suspense thriller manga instead. This one is a 7-volume completed series that comes from the magazine Kiss, which is owned by Kodansha. And while Kodansha did win me back a little bit with their last round of licensing, everyone say hello and thank you to Mars Hardcovers. They could win me back even just a little bit more they licensed this manga too. We follow Komugi, who is a run-of-the-mill college student. She works, she studies, and she eats out with her dad at their favorite ramen place every once in a while. Her life flips upside down though when she returns home on Christmas Eve to find that her house has caught fire. And unfortunately, her dad was still inside. His passing was seemingly due to targeted arson, as he was both a former cop and apparently an old culprit wanted to exact revenge. But when Komugi returns to the ramen place that her and her dad eats at, the employee hands her an envelope, saying it's from her dad. Inside it are wads of cash and a letter from her father, saying that the man that the police arrested was falsely accused. A good mystery drama has never steered me wrong, and especially when they come from a josei magazine. Previously from Kiss magazine, we had Burn the House Down, and that was an absolutely incredible manga too. So how could I not look at Who Saw the Peacock Dance in the Jungle and say, hey, I want this arsonist murder mystery too? More so than Burn the House Down though, Who Saw the Peacock Dance has this incredibly creepy and just unsettling aura to it. It's constantly feeling like Komugi is being watched and observed while you're reading it. Oftentimes she is, and you're not quite sure if the person is good or bad who is observing her. I also really like how this manga plays into the distrust of the police. Since Komugi was raised with a former cop, she most likely thinks that police are good and honest. However, the way that she was raised often bites her in the ass now, as she's having to cooperate with different people on her father's investigation. The police are clearly holding back information from her and also wanting to get information out of her so she can tell them what they want to hear. This is something I feel like mystery dramas don't play into as much, and they definitely should, because you're not sure if police investigations are working for you or working for a higher power. Since this manga is completed and rather short, I do have semi-hope that Kodansha at least might license this one digitally, but I would really love to own the physical versions of Who Saw the Peacock Dance in the Jungle, because we don't get many josei manga physically printed, and especially ones that aren't about romance. Kodansha, if you're listening, thank you for the Mars hardcovers. I would like this one too. But wait, Kodansha, if you're listening, don't leave. I have one more manga that I want from you, and it's the last series. It's called Sanju Mariko by Yuki Ozawa. I know you guys hardly license anything from Be-Love magazine, but hear me out. The people want old lady dramas. This series is just so heartfelt and really just a love letter to an aging population that your life doesn't have to end just because you're past your prime. This one is relatively long with 16 volumes, but I don't care. I want this one in English. This manga is about Mariko, a seasoned novelist who is now in her 80s and living with her 5 other family members in her old home. While Mariko still knows that she's got the mojo in her, her family seems to think otherwise. Unsure of where she's going in life too, Mariko gets a sudden phone call that her old friend Junko has passed as well. What's more is that she wasn't found dead until a few days later because her family hadn't noticed that she was there. This makes Mariko reevaluate her life, and she ends up packing her things and moving out of the home that she built with her late husband, going out into the world on her own since life doesn't stop even at 80. If you need a manga that can both make you laugh and cry your eyes out, then Sanju Mariko is what you want. It somehow combines the harsh realities of the world with a whimsical vibe that Mariko brings. She's running away from home, hearing about all of her friends who have passed away, dealing with ageism, and also coming to terms with her own mortality. However, she never lets the joy slip out of her hands or lets her ambition go by. She forces her way into every situation with the confidence of a teenager. If there is one reason that I think this manga might not be for everyone, it's because of the very unique art style. The characters in this manga are a bit cartoonish. They don't really have noses, their faces are very big and kind of blobby, and their bodies are small comparatively. Yet, for me personally, I think this gives the manga a lot of charm. It's kind of reminiscent of older titles like Shin-chan or Chibi Mariko, so that honestly just makes Mariko that much more whimsical as a character. She's really just an old lady in this cute little chibi body. If I'm being honest, if there is one thing that is truly underrepresented in the English manga market, it is manga about old ladies. There are so many out there in josei magazines, but we don't really get any of them, and there are tons of manga about old men. So if you like a man and his cat, I offer you a woman and her cat. It's just as touching, I can guarantee it. And with that, we have come to the end of today's video. All of the ones that I have talked about today are just ones I've had my eyes on because I was perusing around on AnimeNYC and happened to see them. Many of them do only have like 1 or 2 volumes out, so I don't have any hopes that they'll get licensed anytime soon, but I do have all 10 fingers and toes crossed right now that we might see them by next year. I promise there are so many interesting shoujo and josei manga coming out right now that it really is just disappointing that we usually just get safe high school romance series. You really just have to start looking into what is coming out right now, know the magazines that shoujo runs in, and also read shoujo, baby. Before we wrap up, I just want to let anyone know who doesn't already, I will be at AnimeNYC this weekend. This will be my first time ever in New York, so I am both extremely excited and nervous. It's also going to be my first time cosplaying at a convention. On Friday, I'm going to be Timon from Timon's B-Side, and on Sunday, I'm going to be doing a closet cosplay of Funky Kong. I would love to see any of you hojos there, so don't hesitate to come say hi to me if you see me. But as always, thank you my hojos for watching. Welcome to any new hojos. Richi Hayafuru. But it's one thing. It is one thing that I want you to do. And if you still have not done it and you're a returning hojo, shame on you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.